There has been some reported hesitancy backstage in WWE about making Seth Rollins champion. Elsewhere, we have an update as well on Bray Wyatt's ongoing absence. And Roman Reigns is set for a quite rare live event appearance. More on that in this video. Hello everyone, Jack and Ross with more wrestling news. This is all from a tweet from Worked Wrestling Ross, and it regards Seth Rollins and that vacant new, well, not vacant, is it? It's just new.
It's just brand new, isn't it?
World
Nobody
Heavyweight
owns
Championship.
it.
No one has it yet.
Yeah, no one has it. But it turns out that Seth Rollins has landed himself a role in quite a big movie,
Right.
or a rejigged wrestling stable from the past, the 1990s to be precise. WCW, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall.
That's right.
New World Order.
Captain America New World Order. If there's not a single reference, I mean, I'm not going to watch it anyway, but if there's
I'm
not a
trying to
single
fill
reference
there because I've got no idea what any of it means.
I don't know either.
He's playing a snake man or something.
Okay.
Hopefully Cody Rhodes can play
Someone will watch it
Captain
or know.
America, yeah.
Someone in the comments will be able to explain. Please do our job for us. But last night, Seth Rollins was on Raw, but not there live. He had pre-recorded segments. He was in a sit-down interview kind of situation with Corey Graves, I think. But he didn't appear on the show live. That's because he had joined the cast for Captain America New World Order. He's busy with that. Now, Worked Wrestling on Twitter, Ross, talked about this and revealed potentially quite an interesting twist in the current booking.
Yeah, they say while many backstage are very happy for him being Seth Rollins, there is a hesitancy when it comes to putting the new title on him should these roles continue.
And I imagine that stems from the fact that Triple H explicitly said when he unveiled this new belt, this is the work rate belt, this is the workhorse fighting champion belt, not like Roman Reigns.
The opposite to what Roman Reigns has done with the title.
But then if they give it to someone who suddenly becomes a regular star of stage and screen, or just screen, then that looks really silly.
And they're going to have to be in two places. At once, going to have to be on the film set during the day, in the wrestling ring by night.
Yes.
That's how it's going to have to work.
And you can't have two often absent champions.
No, especially not when this new belt has been brought around because of one of them being absent to begin with.
Right. Now, to me, the word hesitancy or the word hesitant used there from Worked Wrestling doesn't necessarily mean they're definitely not putting the title on him. I'd still probably have, if I had to put money on it, I still have Rollins as the favourite going into that match with AJ Styles.
Just because he's a Raw superstar. Because obviously he's facing AJ Styles in the final. Styles on SmackDown with the OC. They'd all have to get carted over to Raw if he won the title because it's Raw exclusive.
Yes, but if Rollins' involvement in extracurricular activities outside of WWE, and fair play to him for being able to do that, because it's something that WWE seem to be keen to kind of play down a lot, don't they? Ever since The Rock went and did it, they're like, oh, we don't want too many Hollywood stars, even though it helps the business as a whole, Ross. It helps the WWE as a whole as well.
But what about the nitty-gritty, the bread and butter, the week to week? What about that, Jack?
Have big cool stars. Have big cool stars. Anyway, but should Rollins continue along this path a bit more, maybe we won't see that reign continue as long as we thought we would, or something like that.
Yeah, you would assume if Rollins is going to be the guy who wins it, him just being a big baby face, and obviously harking back to the days when he was IC champion, those big long matches you have on Raw every single week. It would not maybe every single week with it being a world title, a consolation prize, but maybe we'll go back to days like that. And
maybe.
It could end pretty soon. You look at people on the roster who are getting built up. There are a few contenders who could take it off him, namely Dominic Mysterio.
Oh, Dominic, I thought you were going Gunter there, but no, Dominic Mysterio, absolutely. I've just recently been watching an episode of Raw from back in lockdown where Dominic and Rollins are feuding, but the opposite way around, because Ray's just had his
eye taken out.
His dad's eye taken out.
Remember that? He grew back as well.
Dominic
Marvellous.
has grown leaps and bounds since then. He's really nervous on screen. Also, we have an update from PW Insider on the Bray Wyatt situation. I was looking at this, Bray hasn't wrestled since February, at least on TV.
Was it the Rimble Rumble when he last appeared, or was it after that?
His last televised or PLE match was the pitch black match at the Rumble. He had then some dark matches and some live event matches, pretty much all against LA Knight after that match. And the last one of those came in late February, and he hasn't wrestled since then.
Yeah, then he was building up to WrestleMania, going up against Bobby Lashley allegedly. Then we had this mysterious undiagnosed illness, whatever the phrasing was. So it's all quite worrying really for Bray, isn't it?
I should clarify what I just said there. Yesterday, PW Insider revealed that Bray was no longer listed internally at WWE WWE. And now Fightful Select have come out with an update clarifying that situation
Yeah,
further.
Fightful is saying we have confirmed with numerous resources that both Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy, in brackets after that.
They can't just throw that out there.
That's a reckless accusation
We
there
don't
from
know who
Fightful
Uncle
Select.
Howdy is.
That could be anybody. We are still with the company. So they're not on the roster internally, but they are still with the company. We are told the particular roster that was referenced in the report omitted why due to injury, specifically the illness he's been dealing with for months. Uncle Howdy's creative has been on hold since Wyatt's absence. I would argue it's been on hold ever since he appeared. But both are in the company. We're told that Wyatt has been hopeful and wanting to return, but there's been no update on his health or status.
Well, I'm glad they added that bit at the end there, because it is quite worrying if he's been out with an illness for this long. It does sound rather serious. So it's good news, I suppose, that he's hopeful of a return.
Yeah.
Obviously, best wishes to Bray Wyatt, and we hope he makes a full and speedy recovery. If Uncle Howdy is indeed Bo Dallas, I suppose that makes sense that his creative is linked with Bray's, so why would it be?
Yeah, it's an interesting one, not just because of the undiagnosed, unspecified illness and all that sort of stuff, but there was the story a little while ago that Bray had a new writer assigned directly to him, so hopefully the creative for him will be more than just, for example, on that random SmackDown, Uncle Howdy appearing and laughing for 59 seconds, whatever it was, and that being the storyline progression for the week.
Absolutely.
Hopefully it gets better.
One thing that I find a bit weird with this, now that this news has come out, though, is that they were mocking Bobby Lashley in storyline for not getting a WrestleMania match. I'm like, well, why would you make light of a situation that potentially involves a serious illness?
That is a good question.
I don't know. There we go. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe I shouldn't have brought that up because I honestly don't know the answer.
I don't know if there is an answer, is there?
I don't know.
Unless you're a sick man, lady, I don't know.
Sticking with Fightful Select for now, they've also reported that several of the wrestlers in WWE have been given more flexibility in their promos in recent weeks. The example that was given was the recent mini feud, I suppose, between Karrion Kross and Shinsuke Nakamura. Why would that be the example, are you saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't the best example.
He wipes out the cards. He makes up just excuses to feud with people that aren't necessarily true, like Rey Mysterio being slow and old and a horse. That got disproven by Rey running rings around him. Nakamura not being true to who he is or something like that.
Honorific. You've not got honour. We beat him.
He beat him again.
Yeah.
Fair and square and clean.
I feel like that's not Cross's fault, and I do at least find his vignettes and stuff, they are unique. They're different from anything else on the show, and maybe that is why they've tried to give further flexibility to people so that things stand out more and that sort of thing. The problem is
the substance of what he's saying,
when it clashes with the booking and it doesn't work. But I guess it's a step in the right direction because I don't like the modern WWE feel where sometimes it can really feel like everything's clearly been written by the same person.
Yeah, that's very much the only downside of NXT current day is the fact that it is clear that the same guy writes everybody's promos.
The only downside. Okay. Elsewhere, Roman Reigns is set for a rare WWE Live Event appearance this weekend. He's been advertised for the 20th of May Super Show in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Fayetteville? Fayetteville, I don't know.
North Kakalaki.
Yes. This is his first appearance at a non-televised WWE event since back in March when he wrestled Sami Zayn in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, I should say. But it's not been confirmed yet who his opponent is, or indeed if he has an opponent at all.
Yeah, you just assume they'd just be stood there at ringside, potentially watching Solo and the boys do his work for him. If the boys are still even with him on the road, I don't know.
But would they bring him in for a live event just for that reason?
Of course they would.
Yeah?
Just to merely being his presence is enough for an admission price.
I'm assuming that North Carolina is seen as an important market because it's a big wrestling town.
Well, it's the WCW.
Wrestling state, I guess, not
Ric
town.
Flair, all that sort of malarkey, isn't it?
Yeah, surely. But we'll have to wait and see what he does at that house show. I'm sure that there will be more reports emerging from that live event than usual just because Roman Reigns is on it. Elsewhere, John Cena has appeared on Busted Open Radio with David LaGreca and Bully Ray and talked about WrestleMania 39. So for a bit of context, Cena opened WrestleMania Night 1 with Austin Theory, and they had what can be described, I think, as a really normal match.
A house show match, kind of.
Yeah,
might not be by design, by what we're about to talk about, what Cena's saying here. It sounds like it might have been a bit of a necessity.
Potentially, because Cena was talking about basically his admiration for the modern WWE superstar and the grind and the fact that they're there every day. He said, I wish I was still there every day. My body can't do it anymore. I don't want to give the consumer a bad product. He then went on a bit and talked about his admiration for someone like Eddie Guerrero, who kept pushing through despite all of his demons and stuff, but then seemed to imply that these days the bar's just too high for himself, for Cena to keep up with.
I find that amazing, having just watched the Celtic Warrior workouts he did with Sheamus not too long ago. Do you see it when he stretches his groin with the machine? He's basically like got his legs like there.
Oh.
It's incredible via this machine that sort of puts them out there. But there was a sort of on the toilet one day, Jack, everybody at home, going through Instagram Reels as you do on the toilet, and one of them popped up where it was John Cena leaving. It was fan footage of him walking up the ramp after that match against Theory at WrestleMania, and you can see his back is not right, in terms of you just see he was really sore. So what he's saying there, because we're watching the match as fans, just the camera angles as part of the show, and you're thinking he doesn't care about this. But then you watch that sort of candid footage that wasn't part of the show and wasn't supposed to be seen, coupled with this here, and you're just thinking, yeah, maybe he will be just knackered.
Maybe. Well, he went on to say, I'm at a point where everything I have in comparison to the bar that's been set, boy, what I have is what you saw at WrestleMania 39. That's what I feel confident I can deliver, and that's really nice for here and there, but that's not every day in WWE. That's not every day in sports entertainment. Sports entertainment has raised the bar, and I'm humble enough to say that that's awesome, because you're supposed to leave it better than you found it.
And he certainly has.
He didn't. One thing I find interesting is I don't think he put Theory over. And then one of the accusations made at Cena after that match was, you don't care about Theory, you've made him look silly.
Yeah, that was the booking, wasn't it? You had the promo where he just completely schooled him and then beat him, lost to him at WrestleMania in a not very inspiring match.
Win, though,
and that was it.
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens with Theory in the aftermath. He does still, you can never take that away from him in the history books, though.
Exactly, you'll always be able to say that.
Yeah. And finally, could the AEW game be close to launch? It seems like all the clues are there. Twitter user Drainmaker noticed that the AEW game is now able to be preloaded on Xbox, meaning, in the words of our own Fraser Porter, there is a complete build on the servers.
Now, this could be true and it could not be true at the same time.
Why?
Because if it's in the words of Fraser Porter, it's either true or it's just something that Fraser thinks is true, and he's told you with ultimate
supreme confidence. I feel harsh because Fraser's a bit under the weather today and he's probably sat home. I'll see what the boys have said on the news, and now we've just mocked him.
Hey, Fraser, firm it up with your sources, pal.
Oh.
That's all I'm asking. I remember arguing with Matthew about something about a video game on a podcast he sat when you're on your walk.
Yeah.
It was fantastic viewing.
Well,
Matthew was just like, you're wrong, pal. You're wrong. And Fraser wouldn't back down. About a console being linked to some sort of console.
Who was right?
Matthew, going off the comments. Yes,
that's like Cena beating Austin Theory.
That's where my skepticism comes from, Fraser.
The wily veteran taking the newcomer to school.
No, let me tell you where you're wrong there, pal.
What a matchup that is, Matthew and Fraser. Wow.
I was just sat there back admiring everything.
Watching the fireworks.
Right, so this all appears to suggest that everything's going to be very close in terms of release for the AEW's Fight Forever game. I think it's going to be called, isn't it? Achievements have been leaked as well. I don't know what they are. They could be good.
It just all seems to, the signs are all there to suggest the game's almost ready to go.
Pop open John Moxley's skull, 50 points to Gryffindor.
Who will you be playing as in AEW Fight Forever?
Oh, I'll be playing as everybody.
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, I don't know who's on the roster.
I've lost track. Too many wrestlers.
CM Punk is not on the roster, which could be a weird turn of events. He was front and center of the picture, was he, on the cover, and now he got taken off. Is he still on the roster? I don't know. I'm just speculating.
Oh, fair enough then. We'll have to see when the game is released, which could be very soon. Stay tuned and leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments section down below. Thanks very much for watching this video. Check out the earlier one today as well, which was you and Andrew.
It was.
What a delightful man.
Yeah.
And we'll see you. Sounded sarcastic. He genuinely is.
Yeah.
See you very soon.